Vayisa Aharon es Yadav el ha'am Vayikra. And Aharon lifted up his hands to the nation and blessed them. Rashi explains that this was the priestly blessing of Yivarechacha Yair Nisa. V'chein hu b'Gemara perek beis de Megillah b'Mishnah perek zayin de Tamid u'berabus naso Parshas Aleph Tafresh Mem Daled Amud Gimel. And that's the same thing, and this is you have the same thing in the Gemara Megillah and Tamid in a measure Straba Naso. V'zeh lashon haGemara de Megillah sham. This is what the Gemara in Megillah says over there. Daf Yud Ches Amud Aleph v'kivin shebas tefila bas avoda chulu. Once you have prayer, you have service, and so forth. V'kivin shebas avoda bas toda. Once you have service, you have thankfulness. Shneimar zoveach toda yichabed donani. Like it says that someone who offers a korban toda will honor me. Umara uloma birchas kohanim achar hoda. And why do we see to say the birchas kohanim after acknowledgement, after modim? In Shmona Esrei, d'chsi Vayisa Aharon es Yadav, like it says that Aharon lifted his hands el ha'am vayivarchem, and he acknowledged them. So, and vayirid masos sachatas v'gomer, and he went down from doing the korban chatas and so forth. Ema kodem avoda. So we see that it's before avoda. Before he did the avoda, he did the birkas kohanim. And the explanation there is that after he did the bracha of kohanim, the birkas kohanim, he brought his chatas and his ola and so forth. Lo sal kadaitach t'chsiv vayirid at masos chatas v'gomer. Why you say? Why would you say that he? It doesn't say. He says it. What it says is that he went down from doing me'asos chatas, miksiv la'asos. Why? It doesn't say to do the chatas. It says he finished doing the chatas. You can't. So why do you say that after he did the birchas kohanim, he went down to do the chatas? It implies that he that was the conclusion of the avoda. If it would have said la'asos chatas da'az haya perush kanal, then it would be that he was going to go down after the birchas kohanim to do the chatas. Me'asos ksiv, it says that he from doing it, that is to say that at first he did the chatas ola and shlamim va'achakach visa Aharon chulu vayivarchem, and only afterwards did Aharon lift up his hands and give them the bracha. Alkini after loma birchas kohanim kodem avoda. Therefore, we don't say birchas kohanim before avoda. Should it say la'achar avoda only after? Because the bracha would say in Shmona Esrei is avoda. So should it be before it say or after it say? So we were supposed to say it after it say, because it says me'asos and not le'asos. Lemra achar avoda. We should say it after the avoda. What's lomar achar it say kodem modim chulu. But we don't. We say it after modim avoda v'hoda chadam ilsehi, because avoda and hoda, acknowledgement and a service, is one idea, is one thing. Therefore, you don't separate between them. Yesh lefarish, we can explain the mavor b'makom acher hafresh bein bracha letefila, and it's brought in another place the difference between a blessing and a prayer. That prayer is a concept of requesting from below to above. That the person themselves is below. It's only that we're requesting a mercy from above, that it should come downwards. And this is the idea of with an arousal from below, you draw down an arousal from above. And look what's brought in the Mamar in Torah or B'Shalach concerning the idea of how you have feminine letters and masculine letters. Just like you have the horses that are feminine and the horses that are masculine, like in the story of the Medrash of Paro, who put the female horses first and so forth. And like the Ishal Avraham goes at length about the masculine and feminine letters in his Akdama. Aval inyan bracha milamayla lamata. But the concept of bracha, of blessing, that's from above to below. And that is that the prayer is, the blessing is above the prayer. Shu atzmo lamayla. That he himself, the one who is giving the bracha, is himself above, and draws down and shines and blesses to below, and greatens the below of Zoin and Birchas Kohanim Chulu. And this is the idea of the blessing of the Kohanim, that from above you have Hamshacha. That is to say, an arousal from above that's below arousal from below, that's above the arousal from below. You have this arousal from above. Like it's brought in that Mamar about the horses in Torah, or that this arousal from above that's drawn through the arousal from below, that's from Chachma, that's you draw down from the level of Chachma with the Isirus D'Leila. But from the crown, from Keser, from there you draw down letters that are beyond anything you can arouse from below. And this is the idea of the blessing of the Kohanim, that it's coming from Keser, from a level of that's beyond your arousal, from below. And it's brought in another place in the Mamar about I'm sleeping from Shir Shirim about what our sages said, that you should open for me like the point of a needle, and I'll open for you like the entrance to the Ulam. And the base of Migdash, that you can't draw this down from Keser, that this arousal from below with a point of a needle, that's you can't, with such an arousal, you can't awaken from Keser, because the arousal from below can't reach there. Only after you've already drawn down an arousal from above, that's according to the arousal from below. And this is the concept of open for me, like the point, and only afterwards I'll open for you. The concept that's above arousal from below, like the entrance to the ulam. Dolsos that didn't have doors. That's the idea of the Pischo Shalulam, that it's a complete opening, but that you can't think that it might or might not come down, because if it has open doors, then it's gonna come down straight without the so to speak the blockage of the doors. That's Kapischo Shalulam. And therefore the blessing of the Kohanim is specifically after prayer, and after the service, after it say. Why? Because this is an Isserus Leila that comes after the other Isserus Leila. That's awakened from below. Shezeu inyan Yisrusad Lasata Visrusad La'ela, that the tefillah in the avoda is the idea of an arousal from below that brings an arousal from above. Sha'idei Yisrusad Lasata, that the arousal from above happens through the arousal from below, as like achar kach, and then afterwards, yuchlu hakohanim levad eichul lahamshich mebichin hana'al, the kohanim can bless and draw down from that aspect shaloma'ila min lasata, that's beyond any arousal from below. V'zehu shishaninu b'mishnah perek zayin tamid, and this is what also why we learn in the Mishnah in chapter 7 of Masechet Tamid v'amdu al mailos ha'ulam chulu, that they would stand on the steps of the ulam of Archus Am chulu, when they would bless the nation. Hainu lihios v'ani eftach alcha kipischu shul ulam, that is that I'll open for you like the entrance to the ulam. Connected that the Inyan Milamayla, the Yisrusad Leila, and on top of those milos, you have the Birchas Kohanim. So the Yisrusad Leila corresponds with the entrance to the ulam, and standing on upon that is the Kohanim, the Yisrusad Leila Milamayla Yisrusad Lasata. V'hine chatas ve'ol v'ashlamim chatas ishlomar birchas hashivenu chulu. Now, after the birchas kohanim, you have v'yirid masas hachatas. So you have chatas ola and shlamim. So what's that? That's you have hashivenu avinu surasecha slach lanu chulu, and forgive us and so forth. So that's before it's say. Hashivenu slach lanu, so forth. The ola ritzei shiavod, and the korban ola, that itself is ritzei. Hashlamim zehudah, and the korban shlamim, that's modim shari atoda nikra todas shlamav, because the korban toda is called the korban toda of his piece, of his shlamim. V'azai achar kach Vayisa Aharon chulu v'yivarchim birchas kohanim, and only afterwards you have the Birchas Kohanim, that Aharon lifted his hands and blessed them, the Birchas Kohanim. Asif se Kohen, Parshas Shmini, Kasav Zelashono, and this is what he says. Viisa Aharon es Yadav, that Aharon lifted his hands, Vayivarchem, and he blessed them, Vayirid Masos Achatas Ha'ol V'Ashlamim, he went down from doing chatas ola and shlamim lefisha ikriv shlosha dvarim, because he brought three things: chatas ve'ola v'shlamim. The chatas, the ola, and the shlamim lekach birchem birchas kohanim. Therefore, he gave them the bracha of kohanim. She yivarechecha Hashem v'yishmerecha. That is, that Hashem should greaten you and guard you. Keneged chatas. That corresponds with the korban chatas. Shlo yikater egalecha chet haveda. That you shouldn't have an accusing. That the sin that you did shouldn't be an accusing concept upon you. Haveda shuhakitegor, that's the accusing, the prosecutor. That's the sin. The sin is the prosecutor. So if you're guarded, you won't have that won't be able to say anything against you. Yishlomar gam kein kichatas he b'malchus, and the Tzemach Tzedek adds that we can say the concept of the chatas is in malchus b'chinas shekara biti, the idea that was mechavavat shekara biti, that he didn't go away from how precious we were until HaKadosh Baruch Hu called us my daughter, kibartem de mischata lefnei Abba, like a daughter that's purified or cleaned in front of the father, or so alkain, or sins in front of the father. Alkain neged ze bracha v'yivarecha v'yishmerecha shemur benukva. So it's a concept of, it's a feminine concept, the concept of malchus, that v'yivarecha Hashem v'yishmerecha, Hashem should bless you and guard you, shamor benukva, that the shamor is a feminine concept, to guard and be modest. Yair Hashem panav elecha, to shine the countenance upon you. Keneged ha'ola, that corresponds with the korban ola sh'achar sheli ben libo mehir hora. So that's the mischata, that is the purifying of the daughter. That after you purified your heart, mehir hora hu b'ha'aras panim, then the father shines the countenance to the daughter after she's cleansed and so forth. Yishlomar b'chinas shikara achosi. You can say that corresponds with being called the sister. And Shavin become Masan, and they're equal. Achosi is also the one I'm connected to, meaning to say the one who's attached to me on equal footing, so to speak. And so Zah and Malchus are on equal footing, or elevated to the same level, the level where they're Shavin become Masan. Yisa Hashem panav elecha, Hashem will lift his countenance towards you, who can negate shlamim. That corresponds with the korban shlamim. So first, hold on. The korban ola. So that corresponds with the elevation of malchus into the level of a chosi. So chatas is the mischata, to purify. After the purification, there's an elevation, ha'ola, and then yisa, to lift up. That's the korban shlamim. Uperesh yisa kemo visa masos meis panav. So Yisa is to lift up, like to lift up gifts from in front of him, like from Yosef to his brothers. Like a person who receives gifts and then says shalom. And this is that he'll give you peace. And this corresponds with the concept of that we were called the mother. Vayisa Aharon is Yadav, ksiv. Yadav, it says Yadav. Aharon lifted his hands, but it says his hand. Lefisha Aharon hu liyamin, because Aharon is to the right side, therefore it says only one hand, the right hand, given the agbir, yamin, all small, and the intention is to strengthen the right hand over the left, the right side over the left side, lezeh Yadav v'lo Yadav, and that's why it says his hand and not his hands. Yado hainu yud, and Yado is also the letters yud, or read it yudo. Shemisham mekora bracha gad gan l'shona, that from there is the source of blessing. Even though before he said that it's a that even so, this is according to the Sifsei Kohen, but according to what he said before, it's concept of keser. The Birchos Kohanim is not a concept of keser, whereas tefillah, the makor is from Chachma, which would correspond more with Yud. But it's a slightly different beer, maybe. Vayikra Parshas Shmini, Vayikra Parshas Shmini Kufalam Daled Kasav. And the Bechaya says that he would lift up his two hands. And this, that our sages said, that it's written in his hand, again, because the right hand was more important than the left hand, and that's why they said that it's written in his hand. So do we find in the lifting up his hands that Moshe did, that there the pasuk says his hands and his hand, that when Moshe would lift his hand, and his hands were belief. So it says his hand as well as his hands. But it says to lift up. When it says he lifted up, to show that his hands were lifted up, like the language of the pasuk and so forth, the kap of Prusas Hashemayim, like it says in the nevuah of Zechariah, that his hands, maybe the levush abadim, or the in the vision, one of the malachim lifts his hands to the heavens, v'yamur v'yavarech es kol hakal Yisrael, or maybe it was by Shlomo HaMelech, and his hands were lifted up, and he blesses all of the congregation of Israel, Biurakasuv ki hayu Yadav zkuvas Lamaila. So the Kasuv says that his hands were lifted up above of Veirachis Yisrael ad Kanashono, and he blessed Israel and so forth. And not like the father that wants to bless his son, to place his hands on his head, like Yaakov did to Yosef. That's not the kind of bracha, which is not the case here. He lifted up his hands. That's the concept of lifting up the hands. And there's a guy on the bottom. Ein be'emek hamelech shavav suv perek daled. Look in emek hamelech. Nesias kepaim yimol nesias kepaim l'mayla keneged arosh ta'atika. That the lifting up the hands corresponds with that this is above on the level of atik. Fem yud it's post arich anpin, and these are the 10, so to speak, fingers of arich. Of the 10 concepts of parts of Arich, Shebehem, Bana, Abba, Ve'ima, that with them we built the mother and the father, the parts of Ima, Abba, and Ima, of Chachman, Bina, Vemitzpos, Kohanim, Kulu, and these are the fingers of the Kohanim, or the fingers, the concepts in Arich, of parts of Arich. Drawing down from Atik, and that's Vishar Yadalef, so Per Gimel, Dafnun Ches, Amad Alef Hashni Yadayim, Shazok, Fima, Kohanim, Keneged, Yede Arich. Again, and Shayud Aleph, he says that the two hands that they're lifted above, that the Kohanim lift, correspond with that, so to speak, hands of Arich, Hagnuzim, Baba V'ima, that are hidden into Abba and Ima. That's maybe the concept of that Abba and Ima are Mal Bishzuros Arich, which is lower than the level of the mazalos notes of Anak that Abba and Ima get. Vishayud Gimel Pere Gimel Dafa Ayin Amud Daled, Vishayud Daled Pere Kuf Mem Ches, and further Shayud Gimel, he says, and Shayud Daled Sui Dechem Kodesh, lift up your hands into the holy Shusod Abba Shebesochu Yud Yamin, which that's the concept of Abba, that inside of it is Yad Yamin, the right hand, the Arichan Pin of Archos Hashem, and bless Hashem Shuziran Pin Chulu. And therefore afterwards Hashem will bless you again. So it's an idea of Arich Mislabish in Abba. So perhaps this is why you have this idea of lifting up above the head of the person. So it's not like Yaakov placing the hands on the head, rather it's lifting up towards Arich to draw down Atik.